apologize for anything. I'm always gonna do something different.
Let's work it out. Shake out the nerves. Let's work out the nerves.
I think if people could see the details, they would know that this isn't just some mess. This is all thought out in my mind. Every decision goes into a bigger plan. I'm always like, it's a part of the movement. This all has to be a movement. We all have to be like an army moving at one time.
Turntable's turning.
Make sure my little stairs are careful.
All of our moves have to be so perfect. Nothing can be off. Everything has to feel new and creative and like pushing the boundaries. Nothing can ever not seem genuine. For me, the movement needs to be something bigger than just a record. For me, a movement is something that represents like taking over the world. To me, when I'm saying a movement, like that's the only way that I know how to describe what I'm doing. Because it's not a transition. Like people always want to call it a transition. It's not a transition. I'm the same human. I've got the same heart I did 5 years ago. Everything about me the same. Same skin, same human. So it's not a transition. It's a movement. It's a growth. It's a change. I've never been one that's tried to please anybody, but with this record, there's a lot of pressure because I hadn't had a record out in 2 years.
So we're gonna do crushing ball.
We're doing all my album packaging. Right now we're doing a gorgeous wing for our next look because we've kept it pretty much no makeup. When I started working on my record, I didn't know necessarily what my sound was gonna be. I needed to know who I was as an artist. Everyone had their idea of what they thought I should be doing, who I should be working with. I've made a lot of my record with Mike Will. I had known about him because I listened to a lot of hip hop. And I fell in love with his beats, and I loved the fact of how young he was and that no pop chicks were really messing with him like that. I got in the studio, and we were just in the room, like bouncing all these ideas, kind of like singing with each other, and then the connection just started. And then it kept getting crazier and better. People change. Like, you just never know who you're going to be. 5 years ago, I definitely would have said, oh, I was like a little punky teenager. Oh, I want to make rock music. And that's what I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to come out and be some kind of like a Paramore, like get in a band. Like, that's what I really thought I was going to end up doing.
Are you doing the flip? Are you gonna do the little?
I don't want to be like, bitch. Are you doing that?
I feel like if you put it right here, it's a little bit of Billy Ray Cyrus, 1989.
I'm obsessed. The mullet's back.
The mullet, yeah. Music has always been such a huge part of her life, you know, since she was itty bitty.
We always had a jukebox in our playroom, and my dad would come in and play music all the time. He would always play Elvis. My dad would play Joan Jett. My dad played a lot of like Etta James when I was really young. So I was just brought up around so much different music. I bought my first guitar when I was about 8, and I didn't even know which way the guitar went. I was playing upside down because my dad's left-handed. So I would play it left-handed. I just enjoyed writing. I had a little like cassette player my dad got me. It's before I had the iPhone. It's pre-iPhone, kids. We had a little cassette player, and I would take it around, and me and my dad would record on these little cassettes and put it in the car and listen to it in his truck all day. So that's when I started really loving music.
Miley grew up with a famous dad, so everything wasn't so new to her. She literally grew up in that world, but I think it's really what makes her understand what's real, what's show, what's real life.
Right,
I think I've been in entertainment boot camp since I was young because I've never been like a normal person because I had to grow up like so quick.
I'm Miley Cyrus. I'm with CED and I'm auditioning for the role of Zoe in Hannah Montana.
Miley kind of gave up her childhood to be in the entertainment business. It's kind of funny to think about that only 8 years ago we were traveling around and all we had to worry about was winning nationals down in Florida with her cheerleading squad.
It became like the biggest thing in the world. That's what's insane is like, I feel like I'm a part of, it is part of like history.
As a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, she had gone where no one had ever gone before.
The way that I am about Britney, that is the way people are about me. She was my first record. I was a lot of people's like first album. I was a lot of people's first idol. I was, you know, and so I think there's something like, again, how I'll be a diehard fan for Britney always because she's that for me. That's what my fans are. So I can't throw any shade on anything I did as a kid, but my whole life, it was never about having control, so she would just come out with my face on it, and that would be it, you know? And so now, nothing can have my face on it, my name by it, that isn't dope, that isn't like, isn't a part of the movement.